Let's pick every game in the Big Ten. Nebraska's got a new offensive coordinator. They're going to USC. On paper before the season, Jacob, I thought this would be a game between teams not pushing for the playoff or a conference championship, but that were striving to be in that clear second tier, top of the second tier of the Big Ten. Yeah, it hasn't gone that well. Nebraska's lost 3 games in a row. USC can't win a close game in the fourth quarter. Trojans are at home, favored by 8.5 points. Dana Holgersen is the offensive coordinator for Nebraska. Is that fixing everything for Matt Rhule here? I don't think I trust that transition to take over right away. I do think 8.5 is too many, according to our friends at FanDuel. I'll take USC 23-20 over Nebraska here.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it all year long, especially in our Big Ten squad shows where, man, in this league, heck, in this year of college football, being favored by a touchdown or more against a conference opponent just seems like a lot, especially with 2 teams that are just not good. Nebraska, USC, I mean, they're fighting to be 500 on either side of this thing. I will take USC to win, but I'm with you. I think it's close. Give me something ugly like 21-20. I mean, I'll take the Trojans to win at home, but I'm not taking anybody by a touchdown right now.
Let's go to the game at Wrigley Field. And this is Ohio State going to Northwestern. Stadium is still under construction. I'm sure it'll be beautiful, but this is being played in a baseball stadium. I think that's weird, which is why this game will have a weird feel to it. That Northwestern defense has its moments. That Northwestern offense, it really does not. It really did. And against this Ohio State defense that I think is dialed in right now, I don't think they're getting to double digits, but I don't know if Ohio State is going to cover that big old fat number in there. I think the Buckeyes win 27-6. They handle Northwestern.
Yeah, this being played at Wrigley Field, lots of good social media videos. They've got the names written on the old time scoreboard and the signs outside. I mean, it's a really, really cool event happening this weekend at Wrigley. Is Ohio State going to get caught looking ahead, Spencer? Are they worried about the Hoosiers next week? No, they're fine. They're going to take care of Northwestern. As good as their defense has been, you mentioned it, man. Their offense is brutal to watch. It should be illegal to have to watch them play on television. I'm taking Ohio State big. Give me the Buckeyes 40-10. They're going to roll against Northwestern.
Well, the good news is even though that's big noon kickoff, isn't it? Yeah.
It's 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern, but it's on the Big Ten Network. So,
okay, so not the big noon kickoff, but still
right.
A noon kickoff. That's causing some gripes in certain circles. Why are we always playing early? I don't know. You're Ohio State, and doesn't matter who you're playing. Television networks want to put you on TV in a certain window because a lot of people will watch. But how about the Friday night game? This is an interesting one because UCLA, inexplicably, in my view, is playing good football right now. Ethan Garbers is settled in. The defense is playing well. Washington's too tough of a team to beat at home. Did you see Washington's helmets, Jacob?
No.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Are they good or bad?
They are so good. They are so thoroughly good.
From you, who is a neutral college football.
Yes, I am indeed. Neutral arbiter of college football, completely unbiased in all takes forever and always. Matte black helmets. Crispy. Purple W on the side with a gold face mask. It's so good. It's so thorough. I can't pick against those helmets, man. I really can't. Those might be my favorite helmets in college football this weekend.
I'm going to look them up as soon as we're done, but I'm still not picking UCLA. Washington at home in Seattle, man. It's just weird things happen on a Friday night too. Yeah, I'll take Washington here. Are we a fan of Friday night Big Ten football, Spencer? How are we feeling about? I mean, we got games nowadays on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Well,
Thursday.
I don't think there's been a truly great game yet. This one I think will be competitive. I've got Washington winning 24-20. They haven't lost at Husky Stadium yet this year. Michigan came close, but ultimately came up short. I think UCLA's run comes to a close here, and they're fighting for bowl eligibility down the stretch with USC and Fresno State left on the schedule. But this is the last time Washington will play at home. They've got a bye. Then they travel to Eugene to play Oregon in a couple weeks. So I think Washington gets it done. But speaking of a game that has kind of a Friday night feel in that it's college football, it's interesting, you will watch, but maybe doesn't have the biggest stakes in the world. Illinois against Michigan State. I've got the Illini 24-17 here. I like the job that Jonathan Smith has done, but this Illinois team, you said it, Jacob, they're going to finish the year 8-4. I think this is one of those wins. They are at home. I like the Illini. Don't love them. Don't hate them. I like them. They're solid. I'll take the home team here by a touchdown.
Solid. That's the word you use. They're solid. They're a team that you don't necessarily want to play, but again, it's going to go down as the best win for Penn State, but nobody's going to give you credit for beating this Illinois team, but you'll get laughed at if you do not beat them, right? It's just one of those games. It's a lose-lose situation. Michigan State could use this type of a win, but I just don't think they get it. It won't be high scoring, but I do think it'll be a good game. Give me Illinois 27-23. I'll take Illinois to win. What is the line? Still 3-4 points as of right now?
I believe it is 4.5. I had them winning and covering, so I didn't.
Man, I'm on that line. You know what? I'll take Illinois to somehow cover that.
2.5. No, it's just 2.5. Just 2.5.
We're good. Yeah, I got Illinois to cover that. Not by much, but they will.
How about Penn State going to Purdue? Answer me this. Who's more likely to be on upset alert this week? Ohio State, neutral site against Northwestern, or Penn State at Purdue? Tough times for Ryan Walters. Does he survive this upcoming offseason? I don't know, because having a bad record that's worse than year one is one thing, but it looking like this is another. I've got Penn State 34-10 at Purdue.
In terms of the upset alert question, I want to say Ohio State's on a bigger upset alert because I trust Northwestern more.
I agree.
But in terms of Ohio State or Penn State and a game that you would think they could lose, I would pick James Franklin and Penn State. So I don't know. I'll say Ohio State because Purdue's so bad, man. They're so bad. And look, I've had to hedge my bet.
The joy that exuberates from your face when you say that.
I have said it so many times, but I've also had to hedge my bet because that would be the most devastating thing in the world if Indiana, win or lose to Ohio State, if you lose to Purdue. To get back to that conversation, if you lose to Ohio State and Purdue, we're done. Don't put us in the playoff. Don't even put us in a bowl game, man. The season would be a failure at that point. But no, I think Penn State will roll. I think they'll beat Purdue. Won't be pretty because it's Penn State football. It ain't pretty. But yeah, I'll take something, 35-3.
3 is entirely possible, even at home. I think that's a garbage time touchdown that I gave Purdue in my score prediction there. But in reality, though, the top 5 team most likely to lose this week in the Big Ten would be Oregon. Not just because it's the smallest point spread, but because they've got the toughest game. Wisconsin on the road by 14.5. I don't know how easy this is for Oregon. I don't know what it looks like, whether they're air-focused or run-focused against a Wisconsin defense that's been great against the pass, but has struggled defending the run, for an Oregon offense that's been solid but not elite running the football, really good throwing, but they don't have Tez Johnson. A lot of interesting factors here, but I think Oregon just finds a way to overwhelm Wisconsin at the end of it, and they cover 34-17. I'll swallow 14.5, even on the road.
Talk about a game that preseason, just with the logos, looked really, really good. And a game that I don't know how many times these teams have matched up historically. I'm going to guess not very many. And so
couple of Rose Bowls in the last 15 years, New Year's Day 2012, New Year's Day 2020.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot about the 2020 New Year's Day. And so, look, this is a huge brand game. Oregon, Wisconsin at night in Madison. What a huge opportunity this would have been for the Badgers if they didn't have injury problems, if they didn't have a quarterback issue, and the year just has not gone their way. I'll take Oregon to win, but I hate 14 points being favored on the road again at night in Madison. Something smells wrong, man. And we always say if it smells like cologne, you just leave it alone. I ain't touching the game. I think Oregon will win, but they're going to have to earn it.
Finally, the sickos game of the week in the Big Ten. Rutgers at Maryland. Oh, a thumbs down from Jacob Goins, a Locked On Hoosiers. But I flipped a coin. I'm not even kidding. I flipped a coin. This game can go either way. I've seen both teams look decent. I've seen both teams look horrible. Rutgers, 21-20. 1-point game. It's like that. This could be a 2-point conversion for the win that goes awry. Missed field goal, something crazy. That's just what it feels like here.
You know what? Just for the sake of the show and just for fun, you picked, what'd you have? You had
I had Rutgers 21-20.
Yeah, I'll take Maryland going away. I'll take Maryland in a rout. Why? I have no reason whatsoever. They're favored by 5, so sure, why not? Maryland covers at home.
Jacob Goins, Locked On Hoosiers. Jacob, enjoyed as always, my man.
Thank you, brother.